Warm New Year's greetings. I'm John O'Connor from Food for Faith, and thank you for pressing play on this brief video clip. I will try to keep it brief, 5 minutes or so. The reason I wanted to make this clip was to give you an update of what is happening with Food for Faith, particularly because at the end of this week, the 5 Food for Faith trustees meet in Auckland. So, James Vansky, Catherine Fife, who are the 2 new people on the trust, along with Kate Cairns and Chris Fogarty and Catherine Gibbs, who also works as the Food for Faith administrator. Some years ago, we decided to form this trust so that all of the financial side of Food for Faith and the administration could be separated out from my producing of content, and so that I could be free to produce more content, which is what I've tried to do. So I'm very grateful for the trustees, and I'm also wanting to be able to turn up at the meeting at the end of the week saying I've done the update, rather than them say, John, this is something that you have to go away and do. So I'm getting a little bit ahead here in doing this. There are several arms to the Food for Faith mission. First of all, the purpose of Food for Faith, and the reason that I took this initiative initially, which is almost 15 years ago now, so we've been going a long time, was to provide resources for people who were seeking a greater maturity of Christian faith. Greater maturity of Christian faith. Because often parishes and our other chaplaincies struggle to do this, and using the internet, I have an opportunity. So primarily for those who are seeking greater maturity of Christian faith, of relationship with Jesus Christ. There are several arms to the mission. We began with the daily reflections, particularly Lent and Advent. These have been going for 7 or 8 years now. Every day of Lent and Advent, providing a daily reflection, something that can be read in half a minute or so, giving material to reflect on for the day. And also throughout the year, there are regular blog posts, perhaps a couple of times a week for the rest of the year. So that's the daily written reflections. Then there's Lectio Divina, which I started 5 years ago now, and we've been going every day for 5 years, a 20-minute audio reflection, giving an opportunity to pray with the gospel of the day. This Lectio Divina initiative has a great number of followers, many of whom regularly comment that they find it helpful. The other podcast we have is the Homily Studio. Began about 4 years ago. We've just passed 4 years, in which 3 or 4 people reflect on the scripture readings for the following Sunday. Originally, we intended this to be resources for preachers, but we find now that most of those who listen are simply people who, for whatever reason, are trying to be prepared for the Sunday. We have a team of around 30 people or so that we draw on, many people who will be known to many of you who listen. Another initiative we have that's been very popular is the cafe gatherings, and the website is just about to have a branch and arm whereby people can initiate a cafe gathering, and those who subscribe can see where the gathering is and pass word on to others. So that's the cafe gatherings. What else do we have here? Just a word on my appointment. I've been appointed recently as the Diocesan Missioner for the Diocese of Christchurch. This is work that I've been doing for a number of years. Retreats, parish missions, work with the staff of schools. This week I have teachers only days on two days, followed by a parish mission as well. So I love doing this work. And often it's combined with Sunday supply in parishes, which I'm always delighted to be asked to do. Some of the work that I've been doing, which I found most inspiring in recent years, is work with First Communion parents. Often parishes struggle with their First Communion preparation programs, and I think this provides a unique opportunity for us to connect with parents. The vast majority of who, the statistic is more than 90%, are not regularly connected with parishes. But in my experience, these are people of great faith And I love the opportunity to work with them. So one of the resources I'm working on is a booklet for the parents of First Communion children who are seeking greater maturity of Christian faith themselves. Very often these parents may not have been connected with the church for 20 or 30 or more years, but they are open and they have goodwill and a desire perhaps to find out what faith offers, and to realize, of course, that faith is essential in a healthy and full Christian life. Of course, in order to do all of this, and I know the trustees are really going to want me to say this, we do need your financial support. I am very grateful to those who contribute already. Some every now and then give us good, generous contributions. Others contributing perhaps on a monthly basis. That's wonderful for us. I don't like asking for money. I hate doing it, in fact, which is why one of the reasons that I don't do it very often, because there are such demands on the finances that families, that people have. And that's why we don't set out in Food for Faith to have an ambitious program and then beg for your resources to do it. We simply say, these are the things that we are doing. They do cost money, and the more that you give, the more initiatives we, the trustees, and I will be able to take. So if you have appreciated in recent months, perhaps the daily reflections leading up to Christmas, perhaps the Lectio Divina, perhaps the Homily Studio, maybe the other resources, then I ask you in the next couple of days, if you could be generous to us. That would be enormously helpful, not only for the Food for Faith mission, but it would help us on Saturday when we meet to budget, knowing what resources are available. Most of all, this video is a thank you. I love doing this work. As I say, for 15 years, Food for Faith has been an online presence, and it has gently grown and developed. We don't seek to be big. We simply seek to provide good resources for those who seek a greater maturity of Christian faith. So please, if you are able, support us. And the way that we know that people do find out about Food for Faith is by word of mouth. So you might like to share this resource with someone else. Thank you very much. Your presence and your participation and your generosity are very much appreciated by me. Thank you.